Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to a brand new video here today and some more F1 2019 modded career mode. Today we are here for the third from last race on the calendar. It's the USGP at the Circuit of the Americas, and after this only two more races to go, Brazil and Abu Dhabi. So we're getting very close now to the final part of the season, and it's still me versus Kvyat versus Verstappen, Ferrari versus Red Bull versus Racing Point. So it's all to play for, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. But first of all guys, I want to say a massive thank you for all the support on the F1 2020 videos. You guys have absolutely smashed it, and I want to massively thank all of you for that. If you haven't seen them guys, I'll leave them linked in the description down below. The two videos I've done so far, if you haven't seen any F1 2020 gameplay, so you guys can go check it out, and also share it with your friends guys, let them know what's good. I've got one more video hopefully arriving tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the ride. But with that being said, let's jump into today's video. Like, subscribe, and let's get down to business. So jumping into the weekend, first of all we have the weather forecast. This weekend no rain expected, which is great news. And also today we have our final upgrades on the car, and this is of course once again durability upgrades, and with these it does mean officially now the Racing Point is 100% completed, and this is the best the car is going to get. So at the minute it sits in second place behind Ferrari, probably third overall behind Mercedes if they were to actually upgrade their car. So that's a bit of an insight of kind of what the maxed out cars look like in terms of the graph and where the Racing Point sits. But we now move into qualifying here at USA, and it's going to be an interesting session actually, because like I said, it is dry, there's no rain expected, but this track actually is not my best track. I really struggle around here. My pace has never been that good, so we could be up against it. The AI have always been pretty good around here as well, so that's going to add to the challenge, and hopefully we can try and overcome that and try and have a good session. So let's see how it all plays out. You can see people there getting ready for the start of the session. We saw the Alpha of Kimi, the Renault of Pierre Gasly, and there is Alex Albon in his black, gold and white Haas, and we're now going to move into qualifying. So this was my first run, and to be fair, it was a pretty okay banker. Sector 3 was a bit messy. I could have definitely improved a little bit through there. Sector 1 as well wasn't particularly great. Going through the front corner, braking quite early into there, could have pushed that a bit more, and up to the line we go P5, but pretty much 7/10 off the pace, which is quite a lot. And my second run actually was a better lap, and it was my best run of the session. So let's run on board for a full lap of the US Grand Prix circuit, and I'll get back with you once the lap is finished. There we go, DRS open across the line, and we do improve by about 3/10, not bad. We jump up to 4th place, so a good improvement. There was definitely a bit more time in Sector 2 and 3, I feel like, but we didn't quite get it right. And then on my final run, unfortunately, I just messed it up into turn 1 straight away. I pushed the brakes a bit too much, missed the apex, ran wide onto the curb, and I was already 2/10 down, and I knew there wasn't 2/10 to find, so that was kind of the end of it really. So yeah, let's run you through the grid for the race, and Verstappen starts from P1 and Kvyat is P2, so worst case scenario, both of our championship rivals start in the front row. Crucially though, Verstappen's in front, so that's really good news. Verstappen he needs a big win today. He needs a result to keep himself in the championship. Hamilton in 3rd as well, so that top 3 is very competitive, and Carlos Sainz all working 4th place, so credit to him. But the top 3, the only people in the 126s. We finished in P5 in the end after qualifying. George Russell P6 in the second Red Bull, ahead of Bottas and our teammate Sergio Perez in 8th. Russell, Bottas and Perez covered by literally 0.2, so really close. Sorry, 0.02, really close. Then we've got Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel running up the top 10. Both of the Renaults on row 6. Gasly out-qualifying Magnussen there as we move on to row number 7. And we do have Kimi Raikkonen ahead of Alexander Albon in the Alfa Romeo. And then Antonio Giovinazzi ahead of the second Alfa of Nico Hülkenberg. So Albon having a pretty poor qualifying, to be fair, in the Haas and not really showing that much pace. We then have Daniel Ricciardo P17 ahead of Lando Norris and Romain Grosjean P19 ahead of Lance Stroll. And that is your grid, guys, and that is your lot for qualifying. We're now going to move into the race for the third from last race of the season for the US Grand Prix. Right, so here we are then for the start of the race, starting from 5th place. And yes, I have got a different t-shirt on because it's a different day. I actually recorded this video over 2 separate days. But we're starting P5. We've got, of course, both the Ferraris, the McLaren and the Red Bull in front of us. And the target is very simple, really. Damage limitation. That's what it's all about. Kvyat, you know, we've got to try and make sure he doesn't get too many points on us. So ideally, if Kvyat doesn't win today, that would be pretty damn good. In terms of race strategy, we're going to start the race on the soft tyres that we qualified on and then move on to the medium. Pit around lap 12, give or take, a very simple one stop around here. And fuel wise, we're going to pit also we're going to add in about, I'd say about a lap, to be fair. I'm not going to go too much more than that. I think that's pretty decent. And there's no rain expected here today. So the target is simple, damage limitation and trying to keep our championship lead. Let's jump into the race. Right, here we go. The lights are coming on. Getting the revs up to the sweet spot. Oh yes. What a reaction to the lights. Russell trying to get through, a bit of contact actually as Sainz moves across. We're going to go very deep on the brakes into turn 1, trying to look for the move. We can't quite get Hamilton, but we do get Carlos Sainz and we move up into 4th place, which is brilliant news for us. Kvyat P2, Verstappen crucially still in the lead, Hamilton P3 as we really close up down the Ferrari through that right-hander. But that is a dream start for us and a little bit of contact, but luckily we've got away unscathed. And that move around the outside of turn 1 was absolutely perfect. Exactly what we needed as we make our way down towards the hairpin here. No DRS, of course, on lap 1, so we'll have to wait for now. But for now, I'm happy with this. P4 is a good position to be in. We can kind of monitor the race and see how things progress. We've got Sainz behind. He's recovered back to P5 in the McLaren. He was briefly P6 behind his teammate. But yeah, our top speed looks pretty good as well, which is good to see. So we may be quite competitive on the straight for a change. We might struggle in the first part as always in the acceleration, but top speed looks good. Verstappen is absolutely just running away out front. He's trying to open up a gap early on, and in fairness, you know, I could do with the Verstappen winning this race. I really could, so let's hope that's the case. And the Ferraris have a bit of a battle at the minute. They're dropping me. I need to try and recover a bit here, so I'm going to get my head down and try and push after these guys. Verstappen is absolutely flying.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
The good news is Kvyat isn't within Verstappen's DRS range, so the Ferraris could start battling soon. Meanwhile, we're keeping Sainz under control. I've got pretty good pace, to be fair. Not top 3 pace at the moment, but that may happen later on. But for now, we're just hoping for the Ferraris to start battling, really. That's what I'd like to see. Hamilton, for once, up in the mix, which is great. Here we go, Hamilton and Kvyat battling away. Exactly what we want to see. This will hopefully allow us to just get DRS, hopefully. If they keep on battling, which they have now stopped, and Kvyat has held on. But I think I'm close enough to nab a little bit of DRS here, possibly. Yes, we are. There we go, DRS. Lovely stuff. Right then, let's get to work. Now is when the race begins. Oh, I can feel that dirty air through there. Once you get within that 1 second window, you can really feel it. Especially now in these maxed out cars. The front end just doesn't grip, but we are still hanging on with DRS, which is good. We don't necessarily have the outright pace at the moment, but that's okay. As long as we hang in there, that's fine. It's all allowing Verstappen to pull away even more, which is exactly what we want. Hamilton has been able to challenge Kvyat now for a few laps. Feels like Kvyat might just be picking up the pace a little bit. I'm still not that quick though. Like, I don't feel confident that I can pass Lewis at the minute and get the job done. I can't really get close enough, so it could come down to the pit stops. It really could. We'll see what happens. For now, though, we're just kind of hanging in there. At the moment, this is fine for me in terms of where Kvyat is. I don't mind him being second, then I finish 4th. That's a perfectly good result for me. Hamilton down the inside of Kvyat here once again. But once again, Kvyat hangs on. Just the same pattern at the moment. Also, Hamilton seems to be saving energy all the time, whereas Kvyat isn't. I'm only seeing Lewis's light flash when it should be the other way around. You know, Kvyat's the driver that's been in front. He's been using that energy, whereas Hamilton's had DRS, so it doesn't make any sense. Also behind us, the McLarens have swapped places, therefore Sainz is no longer on our rear tail, so we can now start to focus in front of us. As there seems to be a bit of a separation and breakaway occurring, so this could be key for the race. This could be the battle for the podium now. Kvyat just starting to pull away now from Hamilton. He's starting to open up a gap. We may have to consider making a move on Lewis here. I mean, I haven't got great pace, but I can start to attack Lewis now. So, yeah. I could have had him last lap, to be fair. I was getting pretty close on the straight, but I backed off because I was quite happy being here, but looks like we're going to have to make a move now soon, so we'll try and hunt him down. Ooh, Kvyat pits. That's an early one. Could that be for the hard tyres? That's interesting.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Exactly. We're on mediums, but Kvyat pitting pretty early. I mean, you can get the mediums to the end on lap 10. That's without doubt, but knowing how the AI code their strategies and how specific they are, that could be hard tyres, to be fair. I'm expecting Lewis to pit now. Verstappen stays out, but Lewis does pit indeed. He's going to give me DRS on the way, so there we go. Struggling on these tyres now, to be fair. Right, Perez pits as well.
Sergio is in for his stop.
Interesting. I mean, to be fair, if you pit on that lap, maybe you can get away with the medium. But we're going to pit this lap now. Sorry, I think it's the next lap, actually, the medium. So we've still got 2 laps to go. I'm struggling for pace, and I don't want to get undercut by the McLarens again. So I'm going to call myself in a lap early and box for the mediums. We should be able to make it fine. Verstappen pits as well, so it makes sense. Russell will have to stay out for one more, but he was catching me quite a bit. So here we go into the pit lane. We're going to go into the mediums. No dramas, play it safe, no need to risk, and we can go to the end. Verstappen on mediums, there you go. So it's definitely time. So let's do that and let's cash in. We shouldn't get held up.
Go. Exit now. We're racing on the exit.
My pull away was perfect there. Like, releasing the clutch was spot on. Here come the 2 Ferraris.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
And they're both on the hard tyre, so we can definitely get the jump on these boys. And there's a P2 on the table here, which I'd absolutely love. And crucially, right ahead of the cars before. And actually, Gasly's jumped all the way up behind us. He's made an overcut work, so fair play to him. Right then, Ferrari's battling, both on hard tyres. This is our chance to get past these boys and use these mediums to our advantage to hopefully open up a gap and solidify a second place finish. Let's push. I'll tell you what, Hamilton might just get it this time. He's got alongside it very early, and it looks like he's ahead. No, Kvyat still hanging on. This guy doesn't give up, man. Kvyat in that Ferrari is just absolutely relentless. But this time Hamilton is hanging in there. He's on the inside line, and I think surely he's got this one. No, he hasn't. Kvyat's still there. My goodness me, this is unbelievable. And eventually, whoo-hoo, that was a bit interesting. Ferrari getting a bit frisky there. Hamilton swiping right across Kvyat's nose, and that's put his teammate in massive jeopardy here as we're now all over the back of him.
We advise moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2.
Running full power here. I thought about the inside dive, but we'll play it safe. We know we've got the rubber, so we can time this. Also, Russell behind us on mediums. He's going to be a threat. So the quicker we get past these Ferraris, the better for us. And we'll let Russell duke it out with these boys. So let's try and line up a move. It seems like we have very good straight line speed. So I'm going to make that count on the back straight. If I can just get a good exit out of the hairpin, that will be key. I wonder if we can get the 2 for 1. That would be a special overtake on both of the Ferraris. Right, engine power up. Let's see if we can stay close going into the hairpin. Bit of a lock up, but that's okay. We'll get away with that. Trying to get the traction down. We've missed out on acceleration as always. But now we've got the full power deployed. We're going to get that top end acceleration here. Here we go. We're pulling them in into the brake zone. Let these boys do what they've got to do. Oh, I thought about it there. Had to back off at the last second. This is costing me time to Russell now, so we've got to make a move soon. I wonder if we can get Kvyat here into turn 1. No, we can't. I just can't get the acceleration out of the final corner that I need to get the move done. But Daniel is saving energy now, so we can definitely look for a pass. Oh, I was going to be cheeky then have a little look, but I wasn't close enough. Held my breath for a second. Russell's really closing in on us here. We need to get this done. Issue is, at the crucial moment, I just can't get the acceleration that AI do. Story of the whole season. story of this game, really. Let's see if we can get anything this time. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. We're closer this time. Come on, Racing Point. Come on, Mercedes engine. Kick in. Let's go. Down the inside of Kvyat is close. Contact made. Kvyat turns in on us when I was quite clearly alongside him. Down the inside again. Another one from Kvyat turning on us there. Somehow I've not got wing damage, but that is textbook AI with the double turn in there. Just keep on turning on you unless you're alongside or going into the corner. They won't let you have the inside. I would have loved to have had a chance into turn 1, but I think we're too far back here. Exit wasn't great. Kvyat is saving energy though, but you can see we just don't quite get enough on the acceleration. And if I dive him there, we're going to get the exact same result as the last 2 attempts. We're going to get turned in on, but that might be wing damage. So just got to be patient, but this is ruining my tyres, so we need to get this done soon. Okay, this time we're close. Kvyat's saving energy. He's not as fast. Into the hairpin. Going to try and get the switchback lined up. I did think about a dive into the hairpin, but I feel like Kvyat is low on straight line speed, so we're going to get this one done. Here we go. Now we're talking, baby. This is it. We're going to use Hamilton's slipstream to get the move done. On the brakes, quite comfortable in the end. And there we go. Job done. We are past, finally. Now we can try and get past Lewis, who of course doesn't have DRS, so he'll be a lot easier to catch on the straight. I wonder if we can get him on the pit straight into turn 1. That would be the perfect move. Right then, let's try and get this overtake on Lewis Hamilton. Into the hairpin we go. Again, set up the exit. Easy does it, trying to wheel spin, which is exactly what we avoided. And now we open up DRS, and this time it's going to be a lot easier. Lewis has no DRS, so it's going to be a breeze to get past. And there we go, job done. We're up to P2 now. The question is, can we drop these guys and get a 1 second gap? Let's find out. Let's see what kind of pace we have up our sleeve.
Some information on Kvyat. They seem to have an issue.
Oh, okay. Kvyat with issues. That is absolutely massive for the championship. That could be decisive for the title. Unless he gets his car repaired quickly, Kvyat could be out the points, and that could be massive. Absolutely huge. I can't win the championship today, but I'll tell you what, that would give us one hand on the title pretty much. At the moment, things are going pretty well. We're just hanging on to P2. Lewis is 1.5 behind, give or take. Just keeping him outside of the DRS range. I can feel the tyres starting to go a little bit, and that's going to be the kind of process, really. The hard tyres will start to improve as the race goes on, and I think the last 5 laps, Lewis might come back at us, to be fair. Especially in the AI, they always crank their engines up to full power in the last 3-4 laps to try and chase the fastest lap. So knowing how they work, I'm expecting Lewis to be fair to make a bit of a lunge at the end. But for now, we're hanging on, and Verstappen is miles ahead. So if I can finish P2, that is fantastic. Pace is improving. The car's getting larger on fuel, and the medium tyres are coming back to me a little bit. So we're looking good. 5 to go. Even more confident now that we can hold on to this. Oh, Hulkenberg out the race. First retirement. Will it trigger a late safety car or a VSC? I don't think it will. I think we'll get away with it, and I'm more than happy with that because I'd be a little bit upset. I know we can get close to Verstappen, but realistically I'm happy to finish second because I wouldn't have to pace to defend myself if there was a restart, because my tyres are starting to go a little bit now. Russell and Hamilton now battling for P3. If Russell gets third, that would be a great result for Red Bull today. A massive haul of points, and that's exactly what they needed for the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. So let's see what happens with Russell, see if he secures the bag or not. Here we go then. It's been a great day at the office for Verstappen. Domination from start to finish. I was pushing for a fastest lap, but I've kind of messed it up, to be fair. It's got a bit scruffy at the end. And Russell looks like he's going to bring home P3. So a great day at the office for Red Bull, and possibly a lifeline in the championship, in both championships. But the tagline today, Kvyat's Ferrari lets him down, and we pick up the pieces, and we are going to finish in a brilliant P2. Woohoo! Yes!
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Well then guys, there we have it. The results are in, and it's actually getting quite a dark crime now, so it might rain soon, to be fair. Either way, Verstappen picks up a massive win and a fastest lap, so a really, really big result for Max here today. He needed that. I still don't think he's got a chance at the title, but he's given himself a possibility at least. Russell gets third, so a 1-3 for Red Bull on a day where Ferrari only scored 12 points courtesy of Lewis Hamilton. That is massive. Pierre Gasly P5 for Renault. Great drive from him here today ahead of Carlos Sainz. Perez, my teammate, gets P7 ahead of Leclerc, Raikkonen and Magnussen, who rounds off the top 10. Giovinazzi 11th, Albon 12th, Norris 13th, Vettel 14th, Ricciardo 15th. Kvyat finishes down in P16 with Bottas, Grosjean and Stroll behind him, and Hulkenberg out of the race here today. We then move into the driver standings, and with 2 races to go, the gap is now official. Verstappen can no longer compete. So even with the win, we've done enough. That second place means that we push Verstappen out of contention with 50 points up for grabs. Well, technically 52 to be fair, if you include fastest laps. Verstappen can no longer win the championship. So it's me versus Kvyat, and we can win it in the very next race in Brazil as Russell moves up to P5 and overtakes Perez there for P5 in the Drivers' Championship. And finally, the Constructors. Again, there's still a chance of Red Bull to win it. 76 points. They are mathematically within a chance, but they need a 1-2 in the next 2 races and hope that, you know, we all drop points. Realistically, though, it's Ferrari versus Racing Point for the Constructors, and there's a 26-point gap. So that's kind of opened back up again, and there's still a chance that could happen. But guys, that is it from me here today at USA for the American Grand Prix. And if you guys enjoyed it, then by all means drop a like. I'd greatly appreciate it, guys. It massively helps me out. And also subscribe, guys. We are chasing 40,000 subscribers very, very soon, so I want to try and hit that target. And if you could click the subscribe button with the notifications turned on, guys, I'd greatly appreciate it. And also finally, guys, check out the 2 videos on your screen right now. But that is it from me here today at USA. The next race is Brazil, and that is where we could potentially clinch the World Drivers' Championship. But until then, guys, you'll have to tune in to find out. But that is it from me here today, and I will see you all next time at Interlagos.